Good morning and welcome to Wednesday Zoom. I hope you guys had a really good 4th of July. It's weird that it's a Wednesday, but it kind of feels like a Monday, but it kind of feels like a Friday too. So we don't really know what day it is, do we? We just got to keep going until the calendar says we're off again on Saturday. Today, we're going to be doing something very specific. Today, we're going to be reviewing Chapter 6 exam. And we're actually going to be doing scenarios that you're going to find on your test. So make notes, pay attention, but you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever. So let me share my screen. Okay, so do you guys have your ICD-10 manuals out and ready to go? All right, the first one is gastroesophageal reflux. So what do you think we need to look up in the index?
Reflux?
Reflux. Just quick, have you guys labeled your manual yet with your alphabet?
I think I did mine wrong because on my book, this one, I end up using the tabs, some of the tabs in this one, when I guess I should have used it for the ICD-10.
No, the tabs that you put on there, the green ones, they go with that manual. The
Okay.
ICD-10, you have to make your own tabs.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yes.
You're good. You had good instincts. So reflux. Most of these are going to be very, very, very straightforward. So I found reflux on page 410. So we have reflux K21.9, then acid K21.9, and then it says esophageal K21.9. So then we go down, it says gastroesophageal K21.9. Boy, we have a lot of K21.9s, don't we? Now we're just going to check it in our tabular because we always code two ways. Good morning, Connor. Been missing you.
Good morning.
We're reviewing for the test this morning. So when you get where you're going, you can just review it, okay? Are you in your car going somewhere? Just be safe.
Yes, I'm on my way to work.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure you go back though later and review it so that when you take your test, you'll feel comfortable for chapter 6.
Okay.
So K21.9. And I have that on page 966. It says gastroesophageal reflux disease without esophagitis. It takes me a few times. I butcher these words. Okay, so if we look down right underneath all of those words under K21.9, it says esophageal reflux. So do you guys think K21.9 is the correct code?
Yes.
Okay. I agree too. That was pretty straightforward, right? Not too hard. Number 2, pustular generalized psoriasis. So what is going to be our main term?
Psoriasis?
Psoriasis. Generalized and pustular are just telling us what kind of psoriasis. Can I tell you that this word, spelling this word, looking up this word is a nightmare for me because grammatically it just doesn't make sense to me. So it's PS. Psoriasis, I found it on page 401. So Victoria, have you found it in your index yet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you just kind of tell us, we went to psoriasis and what do we look up next? After psoriasis, where do we go?
We look at pustular. It
And
has generalized with it.
all right, so what's our code?
L40.1.
Okay, do we stop there and use that as our answer?
Now we go to our tabular.
Right, because we always code two ways, right?
Yes.
All right, so you check that code and y'all let me know if you think that that code is correct. That's what we need to go with. So what do we think our accurate code is?
L40.1.
L40.1. Abigail, have you gotten there yet?
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm there at the L's.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
So what do you think?
Yes, L40.1.
I agree totally. The next one is going to be a little bit more complicated, but I don't want you guys to stress over it. So Staphylococcus aureus, arthritis of the right wrist joint. Okay, so who would have thought that Staphylococcus and arthritis, you know, it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand, but having the two in one scenario is a little odd. So we're going to need both codes. We're going to need a Staphylococcus code and we're going to need an arthritis code. So Staphylococcus aureus arthritis. I'm going to go to arthritis because that is our main term. This is kind of describing the type of arthritis. Okay. I went arthritis, then staphylococcal. Staphylococcus. Remember, it can vary just a little bit, the word. I found mine on page 123 in the index.
In the index, would it be under staphylococcal?
Yes.
Not, okay,
Yeah, staphylococcus, staphylococcal, it's the same thing.
okay.
So then after we find staphylococcal on page 123 in our index, we need to go to what? The wrist, right? Because that's where it's located in the wrist. So Abigail, let me know when you see the code.
It's M00.03.
And what does it have beside it?
Oh, it has a red.
It has a red dot, which tells us we need more characters. So now we have to go check it in the tabular, which we should be doing anyway. So M00.3. So here we go to the M's. M00.3. And it's right wrist. So Abigail, let me know when you see what you think is the correct code.
I see M00.031.
M00.031, staphylococcal arthritis, right wrist. So that is definitely it. So, but here it says we need two codes. This is kind of where my coder side comes out because they say we need two codes. But according to this scenario, do you guys think we need two codes?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
would-
Go ahead.
I would say yes, because it's Staphylococcus aureus.
Okay,
So
because of
type
the
of staph.
because of the aureus, right? That one word is why we need a second code. So the next code we need to look up is our staphylococcal aureus. So we have to go back and make sure that you write down M00.031 as our first code.
I already did it.
Victoria, you already did it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you lead us to where you found Staphylococcus aureus? Tell us what you did.
I looked up Staphylococcus, staphylococcal on page 431,
Okay.
and I looked under it for aureus or methicillin susceptible,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave me the code B95.61.
All right. And did you check that in your tabular?
I did.
And did you come up, do you believe that's the correct code?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I believe that you're right, ma'am. Yeah, I already did them. See, I have my little sticky note here. I've got my little arrows and everything written down. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
All right, so let's move to the next one. Now, this one seems like such an easy one compared to what we just did, right? That's how coding is. Pain in the neck. So what would we use as our main term?
Pain.
Pain. So we're going to go to pain. And then we go to neck. Now see that this makes me feel bad when I give you guys these easy ones, but this one is on the exam. So you guys should be able to do that just like that. So pain in the neck. So I went pain, neck. I should have put a timer on and made you guys race for this one, but no, I'm not going to do that. So whoever gets the code first, whoever sees it, just let us know what it is after you check it in the tabular, because we can't just code out of the index. We got to code it 2 ways.
I got it.
Katie, what you got?
M54.2.
M54.2. Who agrees with Katie? Me. Abigail's going to double check it. What do you think, Abigail?
I'm under pain right now and I'm looking for neck.
376. It's the very last column, almost all the way to the end.
Okay, I found it.
So M54.2 is our correct code. Okay, rheumatoid arthritis. So what's our main term? Where are we going to go in the index?
Arthritis?
Arthritis. And rheumatoid tells us what kind of arthritis, right? You're not going to have any trouble with this one. You're going to get, it's going to bring you directly there.
Mhm. I found it.
All right, double check it in your tabular before we get an answer.
I got it.
Okay, hang on just a minute, Katie. Katie, I'm glad to see you. I don't get to see you very often.
I know the morning ones are fine because I'm already at work. It's when it's at 4 o'clock. We're so busy, so I can't really get on.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you're finding that you can pop on in the mornings. I've really enjoyed having these 9 o'clock classes.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like we're ready, coders. Victoria, what answer did you come up with?
M06.9.
M06.9. Who agrees?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree too. Very good. All right, now the next one we need to talk about a little bit. Dermatitis due to poison ivy. Now listen, if it were a perfect world, we would be able to go to dermatitis, poison ivy, right? This is not a perfect world. So some people were allergic to poison ivy, some people are not. What is poison ivy? It is a what? It is a plant. So you're going to be looking for dermatitis, then plants, because it's not going to be under poison ivy. How do I know this? Well, because this morning I was ready to throw the book out the door before I realized, duh, poison ivy is a plant. It's not going to say poison ivy because I got spoiled with the other 2 that were so easy, right? So we're going to go to dermatitis, then plants.
I think this was one of our ones from last time.
I'm sorry, Katie, say that again.
I think this was one of the ones from the last class.
Yeah. So dermatitis. Plants, $1.99. So dermatitis due to plants, and then underneath plants, you have allergic or irritant. We're going to go with allergic. We wouldn't do irritant because it's inflamed due to the fact that they're allergic. And itis means what? Inflammation. So there we go with our medical terminology. So can someone give me the code and the index that we need to look up in our tabular?
L23.7.
Okay, so let's go to L23.7. $993. Now, again, a perfect world, it would say poison ivy somewhere, but it does not. This is what it says. Allergic contact dermatitis due to plants except for food. Now, it's a very broad code, right? But poison ivy is a plant. And we have allergic dermatitis because of poison ivy. So the correct code is L23.7. All right, the next one is about a pressure ulcer. Do not get scared because there's a lot more words. A lot more words does not necessarily mean it's harder. It just gives us more information. So we're going to be talking about a pressure ulcer of the left hip, stage 3, with full thickness skin loss and damage of subcutaneous tissue. Really what we need to know is it's a pressure ulcer and it's stage 3 and it's on the hip. That's the most important thing. So we're going to go to what?
Pressure ulcer or just ulcer?
I'm going to go to ulcer because pressure is the type of ulcer. So I'm going to go to ulcer. When you go to ulcer and then pressure on page 466, you're going to be able to see the stages. It says stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're in stage 3 according to our scenario. So that's going to help us. So pressure, and then we look for our stage. 466, the very last column. Stage 3, and then what do we need to look for?
Hip.
Yes, because
Left hip.
that's right. We need to look for, well, we look for left when we get to the tabular because it's not telling us in the index, but yeah, in the hip. So Katie, what's the code that we need to be checking in our tabular? L89.2. All right, so let's go. And then it has the red dot behind it, right? So we know that we can't just use that code. So L89.2. Y'all, I wrestle with this book. I just can't stand it. L89.2.
Got it.
Who said got it? Victoria, you want to share it with us?
L89.223.
L89.223. Pressure ulcer of left hip, stage 3. Page 1003. Do we agree?
Yes.
If we actually read down all of this information, pressure ulcer of left hip, stage 3, full thickness, skin loss, damage, it actually gives all of that below there. So I agree that 89.223 is the correct ICD-10 code. Very well done. Okay, we're ready to move to our very last one. I'm not going to say the best for last, but cellulitis of the scalp. So what do we have? What is our key term? Cellulitis. So in our index, we go cellulitis. Then where is our cellulitis? The scalp. So cellulitis and then scalp. So once you find your code in your index, before you say anything out loud, I want you to check it in your tabular. Let's code it twice, and then we'll come together at the end and see if we agree.
I have to walk away for a minute.
Okay. Do 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 do. Jeopardy, y'all. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Okay, Abigail, what you get?
Yes, ma'am. I found the L03.811 cellulitis of the head. Any part except face.
Okay, and then what does it say right underneath there? Right up-
Cellulitis of scalp.
Cellulitis of scalp. So do we agree, coders, that it is L03.811?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. No trouble at all, you guys. I know that this goes by really, really quickly, but by the end, you're like, oh, about the time you start figuring that out really, really good, it's time to get out of it anyway. But you're going to be seeing this again as we go through. You're going to be doing some more ICD-10 coding, so don't worry. All right, so let's go. All right, so this is what I was talking about earlier. We've now moved into Google Classroom, which means I cannot reopen any more exams or assignments that were missed. They're just missed. So what I am going to offer you is if you have a D or an F in class, I will be offering extra credit assignments to bring your grade up. I cannot get into Genzabar and open anything else or give you another try at anything. because we're in Google Classroom now. So if your grade is struggling, I'm not going to offer it for A's, B's, or C's because those are acceptable. But if you have a D or an F, I will be contacting you by email to offer extra credit assignment to bring your grade up. And that's all. You guys have this. I feel confident that you're going to do great on your exam. Go back and review. It shouldn't take you very long to do your exam because we just did half of it together, right? So any questions? What you got, Victoria?
So because I wasn't able to submit my chapter 5, I went through it to see what I missed and what I got right. I struggled with number 65 because I know you're not supposed to code R65.21 as first listed, but I was also having troubles with identifying what the first infection was for the severe
And that was
sepsis.
on the exam?
Yes,
Number
ma'am.
65? Did I have
Yes, ma'am.
65 questions on the exam?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I never, remember what I was talking about with Genzabar? I never give more than 25 questions on an exam. I have no idea what exam it gave you. So guess what I'm fixing to do? I'm fixing to go take a look at chapter 5 exam and see what the hoo-ha went on. And if I need to, I will drop it. Okay. That was, why didn't one of y'all tell me?
Well, I thought that's how it was supposed to be. I made a B on mine, but
Oh, good job.
that was one of the questions I had. The question was, do I do the test in the other thing? Because I didn't even know. Like I had an F on the bell ringer, and I was like, I was confused on which side I needed to be on.
Well, right now, do not go back to Genzabar. Just go to Google Classroom.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know that about chapter 5 test. If it ever happens again, please notify me. I never give an exam that big. Holy moly, guys. I am so sorry. I did not make a test with 65 questions on it. I have no idea where it came from. I'm sure it came from the test builder, don't get me wrong, but I always go through, I never give more than 25. Like it can give us up to 100 questions, but I never use that many. Oh, y'all, did y'all think I was a slave driver all of a sudden? Bless your hearts. I'm sorry that happened. Well, Victoria, I can't answer your question right now. Let me go look at number 65 and I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Okay, don't forget we have a 4 o'clock Zoom tomorrow. I'll be sending out the link as soon as the other instructor sends it out. And if there's anything I can do for you before then, let me know. And again, if you missed chapter 5, students, please don't worry. At this point now, I'll probably drop anything that you didn't get done or anybody who didn't do chapter 5. I'm probably going to just drop it at this point because that was a massive whoopsie dipsy do. So we're not gonna try to hold everybody. I'm sure some students opened that and said, there's no way I can do 65 questions. I'll just take an F. So, all right. Thanks for letting me know. Have a great day. You'll do great on chapter 6 exam and see you at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Bye guys.
Bye.